So Matt, the camera's on you.
All right.
Yeah, so basically, let's turn the conversation to one of your favorite films. What sticks in your head as kind of an inspiration or something that's just kind of carried with you through the years?
I think when I asking someone what their favorite movie is sometimes is similar to like, what's your favorite song? Who's your favorite band? Who's your favorite drummer? And I can never answer with one specific thing. It kind of always evolves and changes, as you get older and you see new stuff and you're exposed to new music and new movies. But if I look back on some of the maybe most impressionable films when I was younger, two stick out to me. One is Stand By Me, and another is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. When I was I was born in 1972, so I'm, a child of the 80s, and those movies were both kind of depicting characters that were not that far from my age at the time, and so it was pretty relatable. So
was it the pie eating contest in Stand By Me, or what was it?
Not exactly. It was just that journey, that those friends took together. It was just cool. It was such an adventure, and I could kind of relate to that because, when I was a younger guy, like I say, similar in age, I used to kind of take adventures with my friends and go exploring in the woods and stuff like that, and so I could relate to that, and it seemed, it was really cool to see the way the characters kind of, the way I identified with certain things in each character, maybe, but maybe one more than the other, and and in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I just wanted to be Ferris, I just thought he was
Favorite
the
scene there?
guy.
Who didn't want to be Ferris?
The whole, just the whole, the whole, his ability to just, he was so slick, his ability to just maneuver his way through that day, and everything kind of fell into place, and starting with the whole rig that he had in his bedroom to
snoring and
the whole thing, it was just genius, and of course, at being in high school at the time, I thought, I want to do this. Like, this is something I want to do. I wonder if I could pull this off.
Now, did you have a friend that would have been able to kind of pull off that accent to fool the principal into believing that?
I had a couple friends that could definitely qualify, that definitely could take a crack at it. For sure, in high school, I knew a few characters. But, I don't know, it was, I guess the parts of the commonality between those two movies, I guess, would be the kind of coming of age of youth, and like I said, they just, for whatever reason, both of those movies have always been my favorites. And whenever after a while, when people would ask, I would kind of remind myself, your favorite movies are Stand By Me and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because, like I said, there's so many.
Of course,
I'm a big fan of movies and comedies and that whole kind of era and genre, like all the John Hughes movies, right? Like Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and all those
brilliant
types of that whole, you can kind of group those together, and it's just, you're pretty impressionable in that age bracket, and now a lot of things kind of stick with you.
Now tell me, being that you were at let's say 14, 15 years old when you saw that film,
right?
Stand By Me, does the sober reality at the end, the more serious kind of final concluding words that are uttered, did that stick with you at that time, or were you not old enough to really kind of take what happened to those guys as they went on in life?
I think I did. I think, it kind of it gave a reality. It put a reality on the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing was very kind of not a fantasy, but just a little unrealistic that those kids would be able to get away with being gone from home for that long, you know, and it just and the age perspective, like, you know, looking back on that from you know, as an older man, looking back on his childhood in that time, and it's, you know, I think at the time it made me think about my life and how, you know, like, where am I going to be when I reach that age, and am I going to have that type of experience to look back on, and how will that shape my life going forward? You know, there was another movie that really resonated with me much later on. It's probably only about 10 years old at this point. Is The Butterfly Effect, and that whole notion of a certain event being able to influence the rest of your life and put you on a path in a certain direction. That I feel that the kind of similar themes at play there, where something so impressionable happens to you and changes your life and puts you, you know, affects what happens to your life going forward. And
now, have you ever watched any of Fringe, the television series with Joshua Jackson?
No, I haven't.
Basically, it's kind of the sci-fi show, but there's a great season 2, episode 17, White Tulip.
Okay.
And Peter Weller's the guest star. Being a fan of 80s films, you should remember him as Mr. RoboCop.
Yeah.
And basically, he's had this traumatic life experience. His wife has passed away, and he was kind of really mean to her the day. So he's kind of basically figured out a way to go back in time to save her.
Oh,
but there's basically this burden of, if he does that, other people will die because he's ruining the time continuum, or whatever, however you want to explain it.
Affecting everything.
John Noble, who's a great Australian or New Zealand actor, who's in Lord of the Rings and a lot of kind of cool things. He's kind of had a similar experience, but now he's kind of seen that his errors in the past are kind of, he sees that there's God in the world. And Peter Weller only sees that there's science. And anyway, the way, I won't give it away, but the way that episode develops, and by the end of it, it's just an unbelievable cinematic or television, I guess, experience.
Right.
For 45 minutes. It's just one of the most beautifully written 45 minutes of TV I've ever seen.
Fringe.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it
Now,
out.
Matt,
Now you have to watch 2 seasons, though.
I'm not supposed to do this, but coming full circle, MonkeyJunk, you can play the skins. That solo was phenomenal.
Oh,
but you've
thank
got great pipes. I heard your vocals and backup.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Music, Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Can we hear your version of Donkey Shane?
Oh, God. Donkey Shane. That's about on. Was that not Robert Goulet?
No, that was
that was Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
Wayne Newton, and Tony got a kick out of that one.
Yeah.
That was Wayne Newton, Donkey Shane.
Wayne Newton.
He's
Yeah.
got quite an interesting story, that Wayne Newton guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I really appreciate it. I'll let you guys get going.
Okay.
You gotta,
Great to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a
Thanks
safe
a lot.
trip.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
very much. Nice to meet you.